All right, Rob, let's go here. We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. As always, Chris Broussard, Rob Parker, the odd couple. You mentioned Kevin Durant's wish list. The number one seeded Phoenix Suns, the number one seeded Miami Heat. That's a whole nother story. For those that didn't like him going to the Golden State Warriors, he's picking another top team to go to. But, Rob, I'm going to say this. I do believe that the best case scenario in the Nets' eyes was we run it back this year with Kyrie, KD, and Ben Simmons leading us, and we think we got a chance to win a championship. We think, though, KD's going to be motivated to win a ring, Ben Simmons is going to be motivated to resurrect his career, and Kyrie Irving is going to be motivated, if not to play for us, then certainly to play for his next contract. And we got enough on paper, we think, to at least compete for that Eastern Conference championship. I think that was the number one desire in their mind. But if this, now that what's happened has happened, Kevin Durant requesting a trade. Rob, I got to be honest. If I were Sean Marks running the Nets, I'm good. I'm good. I have got a bunch of money to play with, and I'm going shopping. I got $1 million, and now I'm going shopping for the car of my dreams. Real talk. Because with all having KD and Kyrie and even James Harden for all the 3 years, 2 years, didn't get us anything. Didn't get us further in the playoffs than we'd been without them. And now, though, I can trade Kevin Durant. Here's where KD has to be careful. They don't have to send you anywhere, bruh. They can send you back to Oklahoma City. They can send you to Sacramento. They can send you to Minnesota. Send you anywhere they want. You have 4 years left on your deal. And if I'm the Nets, I am going for big game. I personally would not just be, let me get a bunch of young players and a bunch of draft picks. Man, I want to win now. At least be in the hunt. And I got Kevin Durant, one of the best players in the league. I'm going for big stuff. Phoenix, all right, Devin Booker. Let's start with him. Let's start with that name. And I might be able to get DeAndre. We'll do a sign and trade for him. Miami, Rob, in my view, Miami don't have enough.
No, I wouldn't even talk to them. Enough. I agree with you.
Unless you got Miami, you can go out and get a 3 or 4 team deal.
And just like you said,
but you don't have enough.
You want Kevin Durant, Phoenix, we'll do that. Where's Devin Booker? If you're going to make that happen, let's make it happen.
They just signed him to a supermax.
If you're not talking about Devin Booker, I'm not interested in talking to you.
Right.
So
because you don't want DeAndre Ayton. We all know that.
They didn't
so
even
if I can
want
get
Chris,
him.
they didn't want him. So they
if I'm the Nets, I'll take him, but not by himself. But yeah, they don't want him.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So if I get Booker and Ayton, now my dream with Phoenix would be Booker and Ayton. But Phoenix, don't tell me that's too much. You don't even want Ayton. So now let's work it out. That's what I'm talking about. If I'm the, I don't want your young role players. I've been there, done that before KD and Kyrie came. We are going big game hunting. And if it means sending KD somewhere he doesn't want to be, then so be it. And that's what I'm thinking if I'm the Nets. Right? I'm not upset because, I don't know, man. I hate to say it, but the fact that they didn't even want to try to run it back tells me they probably weren't going to win it anyway.
And then you say to yourself, as we've said before, I don't want anybody who doesn't want to be there. You know what I mean, Chris? Like you got to say to yourself, you got to come to the realization and just be like, we're better off if this guy doesn't want to be here. We don't want him. I mean, why would you want him? You're not going to give him away, okay, under any circumstances. It's a commodity. It's a part of your business, right?
I'm getting a ton, Rob.
But I'm just saying, I'm not mad at moving on and making a deal that's going to make your organization better. And that's the way I would look at it.
And Rob, what if I don't get that deal for? Like it could come quickly, but what if I don't get it? Guess what? I'll see you in training camp, KD.
Yeah. I mean, if the deal's not on the table, right?
Right.
You saw Kyrie with the here's his wish list. What deal came, Chris? No deal came.
Right.
So it might not be so, and you might have people. You just might. Kevin is such a talented player.
People
you might have
there's
people.
No,
I'm not saying that, but there might be like, I get it, but if we got to give up Devin or give up, a star player who we really like, do we really want to give it up to this guy who's quit on a couple teams, who's not the leader in a clubhouse? He's a great player, but you start to weigh all those things.
Right.
And Chris, and the last part, and I think this is fair. He's been hurt 3 years in a row, or three. I mean, that's
true.
just fact.
That's true. He's 34, Rob. Everybody's not going to be LeBron James and have a 20-year career.
Right.
And granted, when he plays, he's great still. As good as ever, arguably. But to your point, Rob, last year, 55 games. The year before that, 35 games. And the year before that, he's out the entire season. So
These
you're
are
right.
Facts.
You're right. But I'm not, if I'm the Nets, man, I'm sitting back. I'm kicking my feet up on the desk. I'm putting my hands behind my head. And I'm on the phone or waiting for the phone to ring. Because I have money to burn now. And I'm ready to spend it. What do you got to offer me? That's how I'm feeling if I'm the Brooklyn Nets. NBA champion, our man, Antonio Daniels. What is up, brother?
Yo.
Listen, man, we don't even need the intro today. Let's get to it.
I know. Like, give me your thoughts. KD wants out.
Honestly, I can't say I'm incredibly surprised. What I want to know is what has happened over the last 48 hours or so. Because it went from Kyrie Irving opting in to KD wanting out. So it's either one of two things for me. Either, and I don't know what the correct answer is.
Right.
Either one, Kyrie Irving and KD had a conversation. And Kyrie told KD, I'm not going to be here. I am not going to be here. So if you get a chance to get out, get out. Or two, KD is tired of Kyrie's nonsense.
Right.
I don't know what the answer is.
Well, there are reports, Antonio, and they might be wrong, they might be right, that they want to play together.
I just don't buy that.
So if that's the case, that would tell me they've had conversations, and Kyrie was like, look, I'm not leaving $30 million on the table. I'm going to take it. I'm going to opt in, but I don't plan on being there for training camp, or I still want out, or you know what I mean? Like, so you
yeah, but these guys aren't dumb, though. You know what I mean? So even if they had plans of playing together, right? Even if they still did want to play together,
that's a
like
dream.
how does that happen?
Right?
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Right.
There's no scenario that where that happens. Right.
The best scenario for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to play together was in Brooklyn, where they were actually playing together.
And Antonio, that's what's disappointing. One of the things that's disappointing is they actually, on paper, have a team that could compete for the championship. So is this out of spite because they both are so disappointed with the franchise, or what?
But here's my thing. So one of the topics that we've already talked about that we're going to discuss tomorrow is how much of this blame is on the Nets front office. Because I tell you what I have a difficult time doing, right? I have a difficult time blaming Sean Marks and Joseph Tsai, some of these guys in the front office.
I'm with you.
Because they have acquiesced to everything that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving have wanted.
That's what Chris and we agree with you on that.
And that's what people want to blame them for.
But
if they had driven if they had gone the opposite, they still would have been upset.
Exactly. And this is the difficult part of the player empowerment era. We saw this happen with LeBron James in L.A. You give a guy a certain amount of power, and then things go wrong. Somebody has to fall on the sword. Frank Vogel had to fall on the sword, right? So now you come to Brooklyn. They have done everything that they've had. They signed DeAndre Jordan. They got a rookie head coach with no experience. They've signed those two guys together. They have done everything that those two guys have asked for. But when it fails, now people want to look at the front office and say, oh, the front office failed them. What's the alternative? What's the alternative? Right. To say, oh, you know what, Kevin Durant, we're not going to listen to what you're saying. Kyrie Irving, we're not going to listen to what you're saying. Then when these guys ask out, now you're mad at Sean Marks and you're mad at Joseph Tsai for not acquiescing to what they wanted. I don't get it.
I'll say this too. I said I lost a lot of basketball respect for Kevin Durant. He's a great player and all that, and I'm not taking anything away from him as a player. But I just don't respect. I've been covering this league since 1987, and not to like if he played one more year and Kyrie it didn't work out, or Ben Simmons didn't want to play, or I could buy into it like he gave it another shot. But with all these things, no Joe Harris, he's coming back. Kyrie will be able to play the whole year. All these things, as Chris said, on paper, they would have a chance for him to bow out under these circumstances. I lost a lot of basketball respect for Kevin Durant.
But my thing, this is why I feel like, Rob, that a conversation had to be had. Because I agree with you wholeheartedly. You get a physically and mentally healthy Ben Simmons back. You get a physically healthy Joe Harris back.
Right.
All these things. You have Seth Curry. You have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, Nicholas Claxton, some of these other guys, Kessler Edwards, some of these other guys, right? But you know what changes the whole equation? If Kyrie Irving says, I'm not coming back. Now you're no longer in the championship fast lane with just Kevin Durant. You're not.
And nobody would have been surprised by this then, right?
But if Kyrie Irving tells Kevin Durant, listen, I understand we can make a run at this, but I don't want to be in Brooklyn anymore, and this is somewhere I'm not going to return to. If I'm Kevin Durant, I understand what you're saying, Rob. As far as losing the basketball respect, I also understand what you're saying when you say they have a championship team on paper. But if you eliminate Kyrie Irving from that paper, they are no longer a championship team.
But what does that mean with Kyrie Irving? I mean,
like he's not coming
back.
back.
He can just
What,
fake
not
an
show up and not
if he
pay?
doesn't want to play. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the thing is, but Brooklyn is also giving him the freedom to seek a sign and trade. They've given him that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but nobody. That's not realistic, other than the Lakers, and they don't have anything to offer.
But because he doesn't want to just come for one. He wants a deal. He wants a max deal. And no one's going to give Kyrie that. I mean, these guys.
I'll tell you the part. This is the part that I don't understand. This is the part, and obviously I've never been a player like Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. I've never been in a situation to have to opt into $40 million or $30 million. I've never been that guy. But I'm thinking logically here, okay? So logically, if I'm Kyrie Irving, I would see this as a redemption year, as a year to really change and sway the perception around me. So I'm going into Brooklyn. I'm playing with Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, Joe Harris, all the other guys that we talk about, and see what happens. Because you know what happens? If it doesn't work, I'm an unrestricted free agent.
Right.
But now I have given myself an opportunity to bolster the perception around me.
Right.
This is the part that I don't understand. If Kevin Durant is indeed asking out because he has had a conversation with Kyrie Irving where he doesn't know what Kyrie Irving is going to do. If I'm Kyrie Irving, I'm opting in and I'm hooping for one season. I'm hooping for one good season. I'm going to be on my best behavior for one good season, no matter what. Because now next year, if I'm on my best behavior for one good season, you see players do it all the time in their free agent season. Somebody, because of his talent, because of his skill set, will pony up and give that man a 5-year max contract.
Yeah, you're 100% spot on.
No, no doubt. And like you said, if I'm now, well, let me ask you. I feel like as much as if I'm the Nets, I would want to run it back with these two and Ben Simmons. and as you mentioned, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, the other guys, that now that they've made this decision, I'm not angry. I mean, I wish you'd play here, but I also feel like, you know what? I'm sitting back and I'm saying I am going to give Kevin Durant to the highest bidder. I mean, I want great, and they will probably, Antonio, take young players and picks. If I were the Nets, though, I would my first option would be to shoot for the moon. I would go for some star players that will make me good now. What are your thoughts on that?
Agreed. So when you think of different realistic packages that are out there, obviously Kevin Durant wants to go to the Phoenix Suns, right? That's one of the teams on his list.
Right.
I'm not giving up Devin Booker. I'm not giving up
and
Devin Booker.
They actually can't now that they've signed him either. He's not
Booker's
even
not
eligible.
eligible. When you look at the list, Chris, I saw the thing you said.
Oh my
it's
God.
a ton of great players. There's nobody that you can't get out of bottle.
Listen to this list, Antonio.
No,
these are the guys.
You can't get Bam Adebayo. You can't get Bam Adebayo.
Right.
Yep,
Have you heard the list?
Go ahead. Read it for people.
These are the guys that cannot be traded for Kevin Durant. Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, Trae Young, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, Michael Porter Jr. I'm almost willing to go to KD and be like, look, there's nobody to trade you for.
Right. Who are they going to trade him for?
We playing this year.
Yes, there is. Because if I am going to trade Kevin Durant, I don't want to trade Kevin Durant for pieces. I want to trade him for a centerpiece, right? I don't want to trade him for pieces. I don't
But those guys were a lot of those guys are centerpieces.
All right, so who are you trading him for? Let's hear it.
I tell you, if I'm who I'm thinking of. If I want Kevin Durant to go to Phoenix, I'm looking at DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges. Because DeAndre Ayton has the potential to be a 24-12 guy. You put him next to Ben Simmons. Now you have a young nucleus to build around in the future.
Does that worry you? Because Embiid and Simmons played together. I like Ayton. But if Ayton's going to be inside to some degree, he's not the jump shooter Embiid is, then that means Simmons is going to have to be outside. You see what I'm saying? That's my only concern with those two together. But we'll see. They got a lot of thinking to do.